Anybody can get one hit song, but only a few Nigerian artists can do it every year for over 10 years. Today, we're not talking about fame, we're talking about consistency, the kind that refuses to fade. One hit song can change an artist's life overnight. But here's the truth. One hit does not make a legend. In Nigerian music, we've seen artists blow up, dominate radio, flood the clubs, and then quietly disappear. So today, we're asking a different question. Who actually stayed consistent? We're talking about artists who delivered hit songs year after year, across changing sounds, new generations, and shifting industry rules. Fair warning, this ranking might offend your timeline, but it won't offend the facts. Let's dig in. At number 10, Mayor Kun, the hitmaker Prince. Mayor Kun entered the industry in 2016 and almost immediately became reliable. From his debut singles Eliko, Cheche, Mama, Bobo, Gang of Lagos, Certified Loner No Competition, and Holy Father featuring Victini, Mayor Kun didn't dominate headlines, but he dominated playlists. He is one of a kind, a songwriter, vocalist, and more. What makes him consistent is almost every single is charted at top 100. He has minimal or no controversies. Strong hook makes his songs touching and lovely. His writing ability 100%, balanced commercial plus street appeal. He may not shout, but his records always speak. His albums is amazing and is still doing numbers, from The Mayor of Lagos released in 2018 to Still the Mayor released in 2025. At number 9, Flavor, the cultural constant. Flavor is proof that consistency doesn't always mean mainstream pop. From highlife to Afro-pop, Noah Baby Ashawo to Ada Ada, Golibe, Sexy Rosie, Baby Oku, Time to Party, Levels Doings, Good Woman, To Be a Man. This man equally makes gospel music, and guess what? He never disappoints. Flavor has remained relevant for over a decade, especially in the eastern Nigeria. Wedding parties, cultural celebrations, and live performances. His hits may not always trend online, but they never stop playing offline. He has released around 8 to 9 studio albums, and the last one is Afro Culture. Make sure you check it out. That is real consistency. Fireboy may not dominate headlines, but when it comes to consistent hit records, his catalog speaks for itself. He is a proof that consistency doesn't have to be loud. Since his breakthrough in 2019, Fireboy has quietly built one of the most reliable hit catalogs of his generation, with almost zero controversy and very little noise. From his debut era, Jealous in 2019, What If I Say, King, Vibration, then came the songs that solidified him, from Tattoo Peru, which was a global success featuring Ed Sheeran, Bandana featuring Asake, and lots more. Fireboy albums are special. Each project produced multiple hit songs, not just one standout track. His strength lies in strong melodies, emotional storytelling, replay value, and cross-generation appeal. He doesn't chase trends, he refines his sound. While many artists struggle after their first big year, Fireboy has remained relevant from his debut to the streaming era, delivering hits that age well instead of burning out fast. In an industry where silence is often mistaken for weakness, Fireboy DML proves that consistent quality always speaks louder. When it comes to consistency in Nigerian music, Battle is unavoidable. Since breaking out in 2011, Battle has delivered hit songs almost every single year, something very few artists can claim. From early hits like Any Duro and First of All, to street anthems like Duro Soke, Story for the Gods, and Bobo. Just when people thought he would slow down, he evolved. Whoa! Science Student, Motik Bana, and even in recent years, he's still relevant with Loading, Rock, and Infinity, and many more like Billionaire Club featuring Wizkid. Over 10 albums, back-to-back releases, and at least one major hit per era. But Olamide's consistency isn't just about songs. He built stars, shaped street culture, and influenced a whole generation. At number 7, Olamide isn't just consistent, he's the blueprint. When we talk about consistency in Nigerian music, Tubaba's name sits in a different generation entirely. Before the streaming era, social media, and viral hits, Tubaba was already defining Nigerian pop music. From his days with Plantation Boys, he helped introduce emotional, melody-driven Afro R&B to the mainstream. Then came his solo career, and history was made. African Queen didn't just become a hit, it became one of the most important Nigerian songs ever recorded. Across digital platforms and legacy media, the song has accumulated tens of millions of streams, and it remains one of the most replayed Nigerian songs of all time. Then follow a run of timeless records, True Love, Only Me, For Instance, Implication, Raindrops, and Let Somebody Love You. Songs that didn't rely on trends, but emotions and storytelling. Tubaba's consistency relies on longevity. His catalog has generated hundreds of millions of streams collectively across platforms, spanning more than 2 decades. From CDs and radio to digital streaming, Even today, his music still plays at weddings, appears on throwback playlists, gets covered by younger artists. He doesn't chase trends. He doesn't force relevance. Trends eventually circle back to him. That's why Tuba isn't just consistent, he's timeless. At number 5 is Davido, the hit machine. Trends change, sounds evolve, but somehow, Davido always finds his way back to the hit zone. Davido is one of the most consistent hit creators Nigeria has ever seen. From 2011 Damiduro, the record that showed the world Davido was built for hit songs. Then Ekuro, Gobi, I, Skelewu, Olonikoko, If, Fall, Risky, Feel, Unavailable. Regardless of criticism, Davido always delivers hits. This man has many songs he's been featured on and he always kills it. It's like shoot on sight. Davido has accumulated multiple billions of streams collectively. He has remained relevant for over 13 years across radio, digital, and global stages. He doesn't disappear between eras. He re-enters louder. That's why Davido isn't just famous. He's consistently unavoidable. Wizkid, the Evolution King. Wizkid's career is proof that reinvention is the real superpower. From teenage pop star to global icon, Holla at Your Boy, Tease Me, Don't Dull, these songs ruled radio and school parties. Then he changed his sound. Oju Elekba, the most respected Nigerian songs ever made, and that song wasn't just a hit, it was a movement. It told a real Lagos story. Then came Jaye Jaye, Come Closer, Essence featuring Thames, which won the Grammys, the Gen Z favorite, Mood, Bless It, Bad to Me. Wizkid didn't rely on one sound. He evolved from pop Afrobeat, global Afrofusion. He's a perfectionist. He always wants to deliver and make sure he gives the best to the listeners. He is an international star from working with lots of artists in Nigeria, Africa, and globally. Wizkid's consistency isn't about quantity. It's about timing and taste. Burna Boy isn't just a hit maker. He's an era maker. His songs don't just chart for a few weeks and fade away. They age like fine wine, continuing to dominate playlists, radio, and live shows years after release. Some of his key records include Like to Party, his debut anthem that introduced the world to Afrofusion. Yeah, arguably a signature track, with over 200 million streams globally, a song that cemented him as a global star. On the Low, a smooth track with international crossover appeal. Anybody, Dangote, Last, a modern Afropop ballad with tens of millions of streams. City Boys representing urban youth culture. What separates Burna Boy from other artists is his approach to music. Global relevance is another key factor. Burna Boy has performed on stages worldwide. He's a voice of Africa on the global stage, proud, bold, and unshakable. Every release feels like a movement. Every hit feels timeless. He's at number 3. Some people make hit songs. Others make the people who make hit songs. If Nigerian music had an architect, his name would be Don Jazzy. Don Jazzy's consistency is different. Because he didn't just make hits, he built hit makers. Before many of today's superstars even entered the industry, Don Jazzy was already shaping the sound of Nigerian pop music. His story begins in Sion of Nigerian pop music. His story begins in the early 2000s with Mo Hits Records, where he produced and performed on records that completely changed Nigerian pop culture. In 2012, he launched Mavin Records, and from that moment, hits became routine. Dorobuchi, Adaobi, Eminado, Surulaire, All Is in Order, and lots more. These songs dominated radio, clubs, and charts, collecting tens of millions of streams and defining an entire era of Nigerian pop. Very few people in African music history have successfully dominated multiple eras like that. And in the streaming era, his catalog, as a producer and performer, has accumulated billions of streams collectively. Artists come and go, but the architect of the hits, he remains. In an industry dominated by men, one woman didn't just survive. She dominated for over a decade. If consistency had a queen in Nigerian music, her name is Tiwa Savage. Tiwa Savage's journey is not luck, it's strategy, talent, and longevity. Before Nigerian fame, Tiwa trained professionally in the United States, studying music and working behind the scenes as a songwriter and background vocalist. That foundation showed the moment she entered the Nigerian industry. In 2012, Tiwa Savage officially signed to Mavin Records under Don Jazzy. That move changed everything. Almost immediately, she began delivering hits. As the industry evolved, Tiwa didn't fade, she adapted. Tiwa Savage signed a management deal with Roc Nation in 2016, becoming one of the first Nigerian female artists to be managed by the global company. Tiwa Savage doesn't chase trends, she repositions herself. That's why she's not just Nigeria's biggest female artist, she's the standard. From Mavin Records in 2012 to global stages today, Tiwa Savage didn't just break barriers, she stayed on top of them. Consistency is harder than fame. Anyone can trend. Anyone can go viral. But these artists delivered year after year, survived industry shifts, created songs that outlived their release dates. This list celebrates endurance, discipline, and real musical impact. If you enjoyed this breakdown, like the video, subscribe for more Nigerian music deep dives. Comment who should have been number one.